Talk about what you've seen for you guys first 3 days.
Ooh, it's been fun, but again, because they're just in shells and shorts, it's hard to really get a feel. Now I can tell guys are running well and doing that, but they have no fear because they know they can't get hit. So we're making a lot of good-looking catches, and the biggest thing that I guess I've been impressed with is they're getting lined up correctly. Even the tempo of the way they're sprinting out on the field. But I guess, to be real honest, missing T-Zac and losing Cody and obviously Darvin Adams, that hurts. That hurts because those guys were not just good players, they were good leaders. And now we're trying to develop the guys that we have. But, you all know my deal. I tell them all those good players are gone. So we're going to find out what we're made out of with the guys that we have left.
You got that other saying about you can't make the club from the tub. You got
Absolutely.
Javon Reed and Angelo Benton.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about their progress and they staying healthy.
They're staying healthy so far, and they all hear it. That's pretty good. You got good memory right there because they heard it just a few minutes ago. I thought maybe he was out there or something because, I want them to understand that because you can't. You really can't help us if you're on the sideline watching. And for those guys, everybody knows, God has blessed D'Angelo with a lot of ability. He gives them the tools. Now it's up to him to go out there and use them. And if anybody's time is due, it's definitely his. And even Trevon, y'all heard me say like a limo with no gas. They both look pretty, but you can't do nothing with them because there's no fuel. We need them to go out there and be fueled up and ready to go. But I think they feel pretty good. Somehow they found out that that the only two teams that didn't get a single vote to win the conference was us and Vanderbilt, and I think that helps too. So
how are Quan and Sammy and Jalen doing first couple of days?
Again, their head is spinning because you're throwing a lot at them. We're different than most teams. We don't go from part to whole. We go from whole to part. We find out what you can do, how much can you handle. We try to put as much pressure on those guys mentally as we do physically to see if when the game comes, can they handle that. So they're struggling, but, we'll be able to pare it down. And once we put the pads on, we'll find out what each one of them can bring to the table. But we can see that they're talented. Just find out what they can learn and how much they can comprehend and then how much they can execute will be the difference.
Guys like Emory and Philip Blessick mean in camp. How big is it to have two guys like that?
It's huge. Emory Blake, when I went back, one of my jobs is to check the locker room. I go back in there, Emory Blake, he's walking through picking up towels and making sure that it's the way it's supposed to be. That's not in his contract. That's not, when he signed that scholarship, it didn't say that I need to stay and pick up behind my teammates. But that's the type of kid he is. I've been watching how he's working with Sammy Coates and some of the young guys, keep him after practice and doing some of those things. So he has a lot of football in him, just from being born into that family with his father being an NFL player and really educating him and schooling him up. So him and Lutz both bring that to the table. And a calming deal for the other guys. They see those two guys and they talk to him about routes and the guys flustered from me getting on them, whatever, they know to put their arm around him and bring him back in the fold because my arms are short. I don't really get to reach around very many of them, but those guys do a better job. So that's what those two bring to the table.